What is goody, everybody? 500 subscribers. We did it. Half a thousand. We got the 500. I don't know how we did it, but we got there. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that made that possible. Um, my next milestone is to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So today I just thought it was time I should go live and have a chit chat with you guys. And if you guys want me to call you live with a question, I will call you live on the show. So all you have to do, thanks Scott D for the congratulations for the 500. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for showing up for the live stream. Um, Let me fix the camera, you guys. Something. Yeah. How's the sound, everybody? How's the sound? Let me know if the sound and everything is okay. I'm just trying to get the adjustments right. But yes, I'm going to be trying something new. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but I decided I will call you guys live while I'm streaming. All you got to do is go to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/stickywebdomains. And on Messenger, give me your name, your question, and your phone number. I'm going to call you and answer your question live. And if I can't answer it, then hopefully the community can help me with it. But if you guys want me to call you live, I will be making those calls via Facebook Messenger app or through Facebook, basically. That way your phone number and everything will be secure. And yeah, so I have no idea if that's going to work or if not. And if nobody wants me to call them live, that's fine. We can chat as we always do, just like we are doing right now. So I got my water. I am ready to talk with you guys. We got Lewis. He said, "Congrats, man. Been with you since you made the first railroad video." Wow, thanks, man. I know, and Scott D and RT 1050, all you guys I remember were pretty much with me since the beginning, and I appreciate you guys for sticking it out with me and being there. So that's what's up, man. Yeah, now we're at the 500 mark, and that's insane. I mean, 500. I mean, think about it. It don't sound like a whole lot, compared to a lot of YouTubers who are well over thousands. But imagine 5 people or 500 people being in one room. Imagine that for a minute. If there was all 500 of us in a room, that would be a pretty big room, right? So even though the number, isn't crazy compared to, other accomplishments people have had on Facebook, it's still pretty crazy. And I'm just glad that the community is growing, and that you know we are still going strong since August, when I decided to make my first railroad related video. It was back in August, and we are still doing the thing. So that's what's up. Um, Scott D, he said, "It's been awesome to see this channel transform from your Facebook Live uploads to a full-fledged railroad YouTube channel." Man, you know what? I forgot all about that. Did you watch my Facebook live streams, Scott? Because I straight up forgot. But yes, that is true. I did start going live on Facebook first. And I wasn't really getting the interaction I wanted to get on Facebook. People just didn't have any questions, or they just didn't really care. It was a lot of my friends, and they were more concerned about what I was up to. So uh, I started uploading those same videos to YouTube after I would live stream on Facebook, and people started watching them, and then people would leave comments and they had questions. So I decided, you know what, I should focus more on YouTube regarding this railroad thing. So that's what I decided to do in August. I think August was my first edited style video, because my first videos I actually put on this channel were from Facebook, and they were live, they were unedited, they were raw. It was just terrible. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. But I have grown since then. I've got more familiar with things as far as YouTube goes. So I'm trying to get better and better as I go. And it has been a journey. So, yeah, Scott, you're right. I did start on Facebook Live. And, I probably want to do more Facebook Live stuff this in the future. Um, if people are interested on Facebook, but I just find that more people are more interested on YouTube. Scott is saying those early uploads were awesome, though. You were through training back then. Yeah, a lot of people, those earlier uploads do get a lot of views. I noticed, because they're just the real deal. They're unedited, and it's me just coming from a perspective of a straight up new hire, and I think people like that. They want that newness. They want the real deal, and that is why those videos. I think one of those videos has over 8,000 views. So the that is one of my most viewed videos. Is like my first or second actual video on Facebook Live. I remember I went live. I was holding my phone like vertically, like just like this. And you should never shoot with your phone vertically, by the way, just so that you guys know. You want to shoot horizontal. But I didn't know any better. So I shot my first video vertically, and I was just basically telling my friends back home on Facebook, hey, what's up? I'm up here. Here's the outfit I'm wearing. Here's the gear I'm wearing. And I just was breaking it down for everybody. So it was the real deal, and it was raw, and people loved it. And that video has over 8,000 views right now. So that is kind of how this journey began. And then I started editing videos, and then, shooting them, and then I'll edit them and then upload them. But people still like that live interaction. I think this channel was really known for that. Just that live conversation, or just that one-on-one with you guys. A lot of channels, they don't go live too much. They kind of do a lot of produced videos, and I found that I just get more familiar with my community, and I get a better interaction with you guys when I'm live. So I try to keep that going whenever possible, to just let you guys know that I will be here to answer your questions live if you have them. And so that's why I keep showing up live for you guys. But yeah, I just, this says, Scott D said, you are the king of live streams. I got a long way to go with being a king, but but appreciate it, man. There's a lot I need to learn about live stream still, like as far as just doing certain things with it. I'm doing the most basic live streams you can be doing right now, and I do want to get more advanced with these live streams and do a lot more with it, make it just more interactive, and so I got some research to do, and so I can get better at it. But you guys, yes, I am very appreciative of you guys for helping me get to that 500 subscriber mark. That 400, that I thought that was going to be a hurdle, and then we reached the 500. So now I'm pretty confident that we can go ahead and hit that 1,000. I got a lot of people who are non-subscribers that watch. Like 98% of people that watch the videos are non-subscribers. So I still got a lot of people I have to get their trust, earn their trust so that they can subscribe. Because right now they're kind of watching, but they're on the fence. And so, I got to pull them in and say, hey, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That way, this community, will only get bigger and bigger. So, I still got a lot of growing to do to get to convert these non-subscribers into subscribers. So, YouTube is always changing and it's always something you need to learn. And I'm still learning. Um, as far as work, everything is going good. I am still here. Um, I am learning more every day as far as, the job because I've been here for a little over a year. So in time, you're going to get better, and I'm getting more comfortable. I remember my very first start after I marked up. My very first start was on the road, and I was terrified. I was like, "What?" They called me for a road job, and I didn't have. It was just me and the engineer. There was nobody that was gonna, there was no trainer. I was on my own, and I just remember that feeling of fear. It's like, wow, I'm really doing this. And my first couple starts, were that way. The rest of my starts pretty much were in the yard. But in the yard, you still got to know what you're doing, and you got to know the switches and everything. So I was still nervous, and it took me a while to really get comfortable coming to work and doing the job because there's so much to learn. So being here for a little over a year, as far as the yard goes, I'm pretty much good with the layout of the yard. There's still yards in some of the industries that I still have to get more familiar with when it comes to servicing the industries. Um, there's some yards I don't get out to that much. So when I go out there, it's kind of new to me. So there's still a lot I need to learn, but I'm definitely more confident and comfortable when it comes to the job itself. Let's see what we got. Scott D said, "How's life in Superior? Is it warming up?" Man, we just got hit with snow. I want to say about 3 inches just 2 days ago. So it was crazy. Everybody was not happy, but we had like a blizzard, a straight up blizzard in April. Is ridiculous. So that snow is there. It's melted now because the sun's out. The sun's been beaming pretty good. I don't think that snow is going to be around much longer, and I think it's going to start warming up. I mean, it's pretty decent now. It's about high 30s or so. So it's not crazy cold or nothing like that. But nobody wants snow in April. Trust me, I'm ready for the summer. So I was not happy when that happened. Uh, RT 1050 said, "Quick update, Phillips. I finally marked up. I'm done with week 1 of 8 of derail. Congrats, man. Where are you training? I mean, what railroad are you with, RT? Remind me. You probably told me 1,000 times, but just remind me again. You said you are done with week 1, so let us know what railroad you are with and where are you at. What city, state is your terminal? Let us know. We like to know where everybody's at so we can, in case there's a question, we know who to go to about it. Let's see what we got. Okay, you guys are talking amongst each other. So yeah, you guys, how has everything been going for you guys? I know RT just said he finished week 1. I know a couple of other you guys are on the railroad too. So how's it going for you guys? Are you guys feeling comfortable with everything? Um, are you coming up on your start? Are you going to be marked up soon? Let me know what's going on. Keep us in the loop of how everything's going. Lewis said, I'm in week 10 of 15 of training for BNSF, and you're in Alliance North. What is that? North, and what the heck is that? North Nebraska, right? Alliance, Nebraska. So let me know if I'm right on that, but I'm assuming that's Nebraska. Um, and you're in week 10 of 15, so you only got a couple more 5 weeks to go. Um, how's the weather out that way? Is Yeah, Nebraska. Okay, so how's the weather? Is it pretty chilly out there in Nebraska? It sure sounds like it. Oh, yeah, you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks since I went live. Um, I'm definitely working a little bit more. The boards are turning. We um, we had guys on the furlough board that are coming back. So we got more and more people coming back to work off furlough. That's good. That's going to help to give us more manpower and things like that. Um, let's see what we got. Who we got? Reels, I believe. Uh, he's asking, what work experience would a person need to get the job of conductor trainee? I saw a posting for CP near me, and I applied. I'm fresh out of high school. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Well, what work experience would a person need? I've had this question quite a bit now, and I can tell you the same thing. I was told and everything. The railroad, you don't really need railroad experience. I think if when it comes to experience for the railroad, I think what they would like to see, but it don't mean you have to have it. But what they would like to see is that you have had experience working outside, working around machinery or heavy equipment, um, working like 12-hour shift schedules and working like swing shift, first, second, third, and being flexible, working jobs that were flexible type jobs. Me coming from a chemical background, before I worked on the railroad, I was a chemical operator. So we worked 12-hour shifts, and we would have like 3 days on, 2 days off. And I worked outside quite a bit because I had to work with tanks and rail cars, and I had to deal with pumps and hoses. And so a lot of my work was outside, and all that stuff looked good for the railroad. So, not to mention as far as, working around machinery, I worked with reactors and huge pumps and tanks and things like that, forklifts and all that. So that is the kind of thing, the railroad would like to see, that you have had, either one of those kind of experiences. Even if you had a job that involves travel, that will look good because how to be away from home and how to function being away from home. So these are the kind of things I think the railroad is looking for. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they won't hire you if you don't have any of that, but I'm just saying I'm sure they would like to see some of that experience to kind of help you land that job. But you're out of high school, so yeah, I mean, if you can get a career out of high school now, what are you, 18, 19? I would. That's great to start at that. I wish I would have started that young. You would definitely have your for retirement done in the next. You put in your 30 years and you'll be 50. You'll be young still. So yeah, starting off young, I wish I would have did that. I wish I would have known more about the railroad when I was younger. Unfortunately, I was kind of doing other things with my life and everything, so I did not really know. But it's good that you guys do know, so maybe you guys can get in there young. Um, what else we got? RT 1050. Let's check everything here. Uh, he said, I was terrified the very first day. It's coming along little by little. It's a completely different thing once you are on your own without shadowing someone else. Yeah, that's true. When you don't have that mentor, I like to call it, someone to kind of guide you and let you know what you're doing wrong and everything, then you're on your own, and that's intimidating. So that's why it's important maybe to take. I wish I would have took more notes when I was training. I was kind of too busy trying to listen and fill things out. I should have like really wrote a lot of stuff down. And so if you guys can do that, I think you'll be fine. Just take a lot of notes on things that you think that that's important. I think that will help. Is just taking more notes. That way, when you're on your own, all you gotta do is like refer back to your notes, and you should be good. Um, Lewis said just got 8 inches of snow Wednesday, but it's all melting. Wow, is that okay? That's out in Nebraska. 8 inches, man. I thought ours was bad. Okay, but it's how's the weather though? What's the temperature like? Well, if it's melting, I guess you guys are doing pretty good. Um, let's see what we got. You guys are kind of talking to each other, so I'm just trying to weave it all out. Reels, he said, gotcha. Well, I'm 19 now and I work in a warehouse and I'm a forklift operator. So I was wondering if there was a plus in applying. I mean, it won't, first of all, you guys, it won't kill you to apply. It would hurt you by not applying. You know, it is never going to hurt you guys to try. You got to at least try. Okay. So if you're working with a forklift right now, a forklift operator, that's some experience. You have experience working around machinery and heavy equipment. So you already got some experience right there. And like I said, the railroad don't expect you guys to have railroad experience. So the only way you guys can really hurt yourself is by just not applying at all and not trying. It's not going to hurt you to at least put in an application. So at least do that and just go from there. Okay. Um, what else we got? Okay, we got Ethan. Ethan, what's good, man? How you doing? How you doing? He said, "What's good, bro? Glad to finally catch a live." Yeah, we're glad you are here. We're glad you guys caught it. For you guys who didn't catch it earlier, what I was saying was that if you guys want me to call you live to answer a question live on the stream, go on my Facebook, which I left in the comment section, and message me on Messenger. Message me your name, your question, and your phone number, and I will call you live, and I will answer that question live for you guys. Actually, let me just check my phone right now, make sure I don't have any messages or something I'm missing here. So yeah, this is something new that I'm trying. Just want to see if anybody would like to talk live. So if you guys don't, that's fine too. We're just gonna have this live stream as always, the same way we normally would, but you guys do have that option if you want. What else we got? Okay, lines. Your name is going to be quite tough for me. RHATT. What? How do you say that? Rit. I guess. Busley. What's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. He said, "I'm trying to get a job here in Alliance." Uh, okay, you're talking to Lewis. Okay, never mind. But you're basically talking about conductor training with Lewis. Okay, cool. Scott D said, "How big of an advantage is Choo Choo U in the hiring process?" I've worked with guys who actually did the Choo Choo U program, and they, like one guy that I personally know, he said he basically did not, he couldn't land a job until he did the Choo Choo U, and then finally he was able to land it. Uh, on the last live chat, I can't remember who it was, but there is one of the guys in our community actually who's in Choo Choo U right now, and he said he already has a job lined up with CP because I guess CP came and all the guys at Choo Choo U filled out an application, and CP basically guaranteed them a job if they complete the program. So before they're even done, they already have a job lined up as long as they complete the program. So I think Choo Choo U could be a real good advantage if you guys are having a hard time getting on. But my recommendation is that before you do the Choo Choo U, make sure that you have exhausted all other options. Make sure you have applied to all the railroads and you've done everything in your power to try to get on, and you just seem to not be able to land it. And if that is a last resort for you guys and you have to do the Choo Choo U, then so be it. But make sure that it is the last resort. Because it is pretty pricey. I think anywhere from 5 to 7 grand for Choo Choo U. So I would not spend that kind of money unless I tried everything else. So if that is the last resort for you guys, give it a shot, but do not do it if you haven't exhausted all other options. Jay Bean, what's up? He says, stopping to say what up, back to work. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. So Jay Bean wanted to just say what's up. That's cool. Appreciate you just for popping in. That is always cool. Um, we got Reels. He said, what other good jobs within the railroad besides conductor trainee? I've seen signalman apprentice as well as being available near me. There were 2 postings for each. I mean, I think, all these railroad jobs are going to be good jobs. Rather you are what they call section, which is like maintenance, a carman, which is somebody that works on the actual freight cars and inspects it for problems. Signalman, labor worker, a track laborer. So there are definitely more jobs than just a conductor. Um, it all depends on what you want to do. If you're that type of person that likes to use your hands, you're more handsy, then being a carman or a track laborer might be for you. If you're the type of person that thinks you want to travel and stay in hotels and go to different cities and see landscape, then a conductor will probably fit you better. So it all depends on what's going to fit you. But I would say apply to whatever. If you get it, you can always transfer into something else. So if you get a job as a signalman, you can always, put in a transfer to go into a conductor program or something like that. And so I don't know. I think getting your foot in the door, whatever way you can, is a plus. So if there's more positions open and you think you will like it, then just apply to a couple of them. That just gives you, that way you're casting a wide net and you're just going to give yourself more possibilities to land that job. Um, Ethan said, I'm 17 now and I've already graduated high school. When I turn 18, I want to apply to UP or BNSF. I work with a excursion railroad here when I live, where I live, and took my G Corps test and passed. Huh. You said you worked. What did you do for that railroad? Excursion railroad? Are you talking about like a short line railroad? When you say excursion railroad, what does that mean exactly? I haven't really heard that. Is that like a short rail type of railroad? And you passed the G Corps test, which is cool. And you're 17. Okay, so I think you got to be at least, what is it, 18? 18 or 19 for a conductor job or railroad job. Um, I want to say 18, but some railroads have been changing it, and I've heard with some railroads it's 21. So I don't even know anymore what's what when it comes to the age. You just got to look at the requirements when you guys apply and just make sure to read that section to see what is the age you have to be. Um, let's see, where are we? Ethan is saying, however, I never started as a conductor for the volunteer railroad. You think that would help get a job for UP or BNSF? I think so. I mean, just the fact that you already passed the G Corps test and you did some work on the excursion railroad. I think that's great. So yeah, I think any kind of railroad experience is gonna be good for you, and it's not gonna be bad. So I think that's real good. Um, let's see what we got. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so you guys are kind of talking amongst yourselves, so just making sure I'm not missing anything. Let me just check my phone, make sure I don't have any messages here. Okay. All right. All right. Ethan is saying we have all vintage equipment. We have an a Elko RSD 15, and we have a bunch of old passenger cars. It's called the Austin and Texas Central Railroad. All right, so yeah, that sounds like it might be a short rail type company. Um, and yeah, I think that's experience for sure. You're working with rail cars and passenger cars, and you're probably working with switches and all that. So yeah, why would that not help you? So yeah, I think that will help definitely. Um, what else we got going on, you guys? Anybody else in training right now? Is uh, Scott D. He's asking, have you worked the road recently? You know, there are some. I do see some spots on the brakeman's board that I could possibly mark up to. And the brakeman's board, I think, is I've been off the road. I haven't been on the road since, man, I want to say since June. Like my first start was a road job, and then that was kind of it for me. I mean, our over here where I'm at, the road is pretty much all the seniority guys are holding the road, and there's not a lot of spots for us guys who have little seniority. But lately, they have been adding more spots, so I could possibly get on a brakeman's board, which would definitely kind of get me on the road and give me some more practice on the road. So I've been kind of thinking about doing that, but we'll see. Because right now I kind of just like my 2 day off schedule. I'm actually on Fridays and Saturdays off right now, which is some real good days for somebody with like low seniority. So I'm kind of enjoying my days off and the days I have. So once you get on the road, you're not gonna have those set days off. You're gonna be on call, and only days you're gonna have off are the days they don't call you, and you really don't know when that's gonna be. So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of getting used to that regular lifestyle of knowing what days off I'm gonna have, so I can plan and all that. So once you guys get used to the road, I mean, the yard, you kind of get accustomed to the lifestyle. It's pretty nice. Uh, so Reels is saying, so what are you doing right now for your job? Right now, my job title is conductor, switchman, brakeman, and a hostler. Okay. So like I explained in other videos, a hostler is somebody who can move around light engine, meaning I can move engines around as long as there's no cars attached to it. And I usually just take the engines and I DP it, for the DP. When there's more than one engine on a train, you have to link those engines up together so that they sync with each other. That's called DPing. Um, so I do all that kind of stuff, and I take the engines down to the roundhouse so they can be serviced for gas or cleaned or washed or whatever they may need. I can move those engines around, and that job is called a hostler. Their hostler jobs are kind of phasing out because they're kind of utilizing engineers to do that stuff. But to save money, sometimes they don't call engineers to do it. They just call a hostler because it's cheaper for a hostler to do it than an engineer to do it. Um, so yeah, and also a switchman is when you're working in the yard, you're a switchman. So that's your title when you're working in the yard. When you're working the road, you're a conductor. And lately, the last few months, I've been a switchman in the yard. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And a switchman is basically somebody who switches cars around in the yard, and you get a switch list from the yard master, and he tells you where he wants things, where you put them, and or you're going to build trains and put trains together that are going to go out on the road. And that's what a switchman does. They kind of get everything ready for the road jobs or whatever. So I hope I answered your question with that. Um, West Side, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. He said, "What's going on, man? It's slow here on the West Coast. Been furloughed for a month. Thinking about heading to Texas. Wow. Well, you've been furloughed for a month. So are you collecting railroad unemployment right now? What are you doing financially? Are you doing some kind of state unemployment to kind of get your money right when it comes to not being at work for a month? How's that going? Um, Also, do you have the option to chase work? I know you said you're thinking about heading to Texas. Are you thinking about chasing work out in Texas? And are is there a possibility you can do some kind of you can get forced out there so that they can help you with the expenses instead of you paying for everything? So let me know what your plan is when it comes to all that. It looks like you work for BNSF. And how long have you been with the railroad, West Side? Let us know. And when did you get furloughed exactly? Um, were you out of class when you got furloughed? Has it been, or did you get a couple of months of work in there? Let us know. Let's see. Ethan, he is saying, do you eventually want to be an engineer or stay as a conductor? Um, wow, I thought about that a lot, and um, hmm, I really don't know yet. If I want to go into the engineer program. Right now, we have engineers that can't even hold as engineers right now. So We have guys on the ground working as switchmen in the yard because they can't hold as an engineer because there just aren't enough engineer jobs for them to work. So we actually have not had an engineer program where I'm at in quite a while because they just don't need engineers where I'm at. Um, I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. An engineer's life can be quite challenging, though. It takes, as far as the way the seniority works and everything, it can be a little tough. And a lot of engineers they work what they call the engineers extra board, and that's a tough lifestyle. Because of the shifts you work, being on call, it could be tough. So I don't know if that is something I'm going to do yet. We'll see. I'll update you guys if that is the case. But right now, I haven't given it much thought. Being a hostler, I still get a chance to move engines around and things like that. And so I'm kind of just getting my fix by doing that right now. So I'll let you guys know if I decide to go to an engineer program. What else we got? Scott D said, I heard Norfolk Southern is having some major issues right now. Firing, entry training classes, etc. Did you say firing? Entry training classes. What's that? Oh, entire. What? They're firing entire training classes? Why? What's up with that? Why would they bring in a entire class and fire them? Or do you mean furlough them? Are they furloughing them? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean to say? I mean, that's possible for a class to come out and get furloughed right away. But you said firing, so let me know what you mean when you say that. uh, mm, 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 mm. West Side, he is the guy that is furloughed. He said he's been collecting state unemployment. I'll be at my year anniversary here in the 23rd of this month. Oh, okay. So you got about a good year in almost before you were furloughed. How much longer do you think you're going to be furloughed? Do you know? And do you have the option to recall yourself? Because when we had guys furloughed here, they could recall themselves right back to work as long as there were spots that they can hold. So there's spots on the board and you can hold a spot, then all you have to do is, recall yourself back to work. And that's a process I think you have to do with your union and a little bit of paperwork. But um, we had that recall option where we can come back without waiting on someone telling us to come back as long as there's an open spot that you can hold. So make sure you're not missing out on something like that because there are actually a lot of guys who did not even know that they could have came back. They were just sitting there waiting, I guess, for a call or something. And all they had to do was come back because there were spots that were open. So make sure you're watching the board and seeing how those boards are looking, if there's open spots that you can be working. Because if it is, then you can probably just recall yourself back to work. Oh, so yeah, make sure you look into that. Scott D said, I think there's going to be some huge retirements from 2020 through 2022. So your seniority is about to go way up. Wow. Okay. Which is probably true. I mean, yeah, these old heads, they call them, are getting ready to retire. And that's always going to be good because that's going to open up the boards for other jobs and other opportunities. It can even open up an engineer program if enough engineers retire. So that's definitely how you climb up the ladder on the railroad is from retirements and people leaving or whatever is going to always benefit you because your seniority is going to do nothing but just continue to go up. So I feel you on that one. Westside said April 23rd last year. I was watching your videos right before I got on. Appreciate all the good feedback. I've been furloughed for a month. After my training, I marked up in Fresno. Okay, so you marked up in Fresno, um, and then transferred down to uh, SoCal, where I'm from, LA Terminal. Huh? How did you transfer? Was that a permanent transfer? Was that a transfer you put in for? Was that kind of a division transfer to where that is within your division? So all you had to do was kind of mark up to a spot there. Let me know how that transfer worked for you. Was that some kind of transfer you had to put in for or something like that? Let me know. You guys are talking to each other. Um, West Side is saying, that's right. I see that on the mobility app. That's pretty cool. Hopefully, it picks back up soon. Yeah, I've been watching the boards, thinking about getting recalled, but sometimes the next day it's filled. Oh, okay. So you're referring to what I was talking um, about recalls. Okay. All right. So yeah, you said that you've been watching your boards, and every time you see a spot open, the next day you'll see that it was filled. Well, what you can do is look when you're looking at open spots, go to the bump board and just make sure that the bump board is also empty. Because if the bump board is full with 6, 7 people, then those are spots those people are most likely going to mark up to. So whatever spots you see open, if there's people on a bump board, they're going to move to those spots. So technically, those spots are not open. So make sure when you're looking on the app, you're also looking at the bump board to look at the ratio of open spots versus people sitting on the bump board. That way, you get a better idea of the actual spots that could be available. Um, what we got? You guys are talking to each other. Ethan said, how hard is it to move states after you finish training as a conductor? It's hard. The reason I know that is because I've been trying to do that myself. I've been trying to transfer back towards my location, which is around like the Illinois area, is the closest BN terminals to where I'm from. And I put in 2 transfers so far, and I don't know how the second one's doing. I gotta kind of get a status on that, but the first one did not go through. It's been a little over a year since I've been here, and I'm still here, so it is not easy to transfer out. That could depend on a lot of circumstances. I'm sure that can depend on how long you work for the railroad, how many years you put in, how bad a terminal needs you, um, the terminal that you're leaving, how bad do they need you, or the terminal you're going, how bad do they need you? So there's a whole lot of different variables that to that situation, and so some guys, I guess, is easier for some guys than others. It all depends on the circumstance. For me, it has not been easy to transfer. So I hope that answers your question on that. West Side is saying all of California is Santa Fe. So I apologize, not really a transfer, just placed a bid down to SoCal. When I was hired in Fresno, the terminal was not so big, so they cut the boards and we were able to leave. Okay. So what you did was kind of just a division to division. The terminals were all within the same division. All you did was move to it, basically. So it wasn't like a transfer. It was more of a move you made, basically, is what you're saying. Westside said they released the recall for Fresno because work was slow and they cut boards. It's only because Fresno is not really a big terminal. All right, cool, cool. And Ethan is asking, what's the furthest you can get bumped? I don't know exactly what that question is asking, Ethan. What's the furthest you can get bumped? What do you mean when you say that exactly? Explain that. Maybe you're not getting the right understanding of something, but I'm just not understanding what that question means. What is the furthest you can get bumped? So kind of come again with that question. Give me a better understanding of what it is that you're trying to find out here. Um, Westside said exactly. Yeah, place a bid. Where are you working? I'm working out of the Twin City division right now, so I'm kind of working out of that division. You know, that division consists of the Twin Cities, which is the cities in Minneapolis division. So we have quite a bit of terminals within that division. Sioux City, South Dakota, and uh, so our division has it's a closed division. So we have quite a bit of terminals there. Ethan is saying, like, can't the railroad relocate you if somebody higher priority bids on your job, trying to put the pieces together? Well, I mean, I haven't seen that happen a lot. Um, as far as relocate you, for the most part, where I'm at, when someone gets bumped, they just mark up to another job and so be it. A lot of times, it's not always a case that when you get bumped, you move or relocate to another state or city or anything. Sometimes you just get bumped off a certain job and you just have to mark up to another job. Sometimes guys are going to bump you just because they want the days off you have. Like right now, I'm on Friday, Saturday. Somebody might want it, so they can bump me for it, and then I have to choose other days off. Other than that, so just because you're bumped, don't mean you're going to get bumped out of the state or the city you're in. Actually, that is not something you see a lot. Is for that to happen where somebody gets bumped and then they have to relocate. I have not necessarily seen too much of anything like that. So that is something that is not very common. The most common bumps you're going to see are just being bumped off a certain job, and all you have to do is find another job that you can hold, and you don't have to go anywhere. So it's not always so bad. Getting bumped does not mean you're going to always have your life and being rearranged. That's not always the case. That's kind of very rare, actually. So I hope that answered that question. Let's see. Where am I here? Okay, I think I'm caught up with the questions. Let me check my phone, make sure I'm good. Okay. Let's see what we got. Ethan said, okay, so basically you stay in the same terminal if you get bumped, but you just mark up on a different job. I got it now. Still trying to put the pieces together. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much for the most case. That's how that works. I mean, you're not going to see that too often, where somebody gets bumped and then all of a sudden they got to relocate and all that. I have not seen much of anything like that happen. It's never happened to me. Um, the only times, even guys that were in my class, only times they had to go somewhere was when they couldn't hold because of their seniority. They couldn't hold here, so they had to. They were forced assigned to another terminal, and that's only because they could not hold. But then, after about 5 or 6 weeks, they were able to come back and hold because it got busier. So that's the only time I really even seen that even happen where guys were relocated. And like I said, that was just temporary. So West Side said, I heard about the closed division. I hope you can eventually get relocated. I wish I was hired in January of last year. LOL. It makes a big difference, seniority and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, seniority on the railroad is huge. Even the one guy ahead of you is going to make a big difference because that one guy ahead of you is always going to be that one guy that can bump you off a job or take your days off or whatever. So you guys are going to learn real quick how important seniority really is when it comes to the railroad. And there's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, when you draw cards for seniority or however they choose to do that, it is just the pick of the draw. There's nothing you can do to control how the outcome's going to be unless you're just like David Blaine or Chris Angel or somebody who's got some magical abilities. But yeah, you're just an average guy trying to work on the railroad. You probably ain't going to have the psychic abilities to know what card to pick. Me, I actually got lucky. Um, I came up second in seniority in my class, and I didn't even have to pick a card at all. I was the last guy to go. I was the last person to go in my class. And we were on the phone with another terminal going against another class for our seniority pick. And the guy on the other end of the phone, he picked his card, and the last card standing was a king, or what was it, a queen? It was a queen, and it was mine. So that put me second in seniority of my class. So yeah, sometimes me being the last guy to go, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought for sure all the good cards were going to be done and picked over, but I ended up being the last guy to go, and I ended up in second in seniority in my class. So you just never know how things are going to play out. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Lewis is saying, so what is the difference of transferring Santa Fe to Santa Fe? What? So what is the difference of transferring Santa Fe to Santa Fe or BN to BN? I see people transferring to and from the South all the time, or BN to Santa Fe. I have no idea about that because BN and Santa Fe, as far as I know, they're the same company. BNSF, Burlington Northern Santa Fe. That's what BNSF stands for. So when it's got to be a division thing where you're at because I don't see that here. So wherever you are, maybe Santa Fe is still their own entity and BN is the entity. And maybe since they are still one umbrella, you can jump between the two. I'm guessing that's how that works, but I have not seen that over here at all. So that's interesting to even know that that is even happening. Because as far as I know, BN and Santa Fe is the same company, BNSF. So thanks for sharing that. That's something new for me. Westside said there were 18 guys in my class. The last guy picked number one. Wow. How did that happen? And what did he pick? Like an ace or a king? That's kind of like my story, but I came in number two. Nice, nice. Number one. He was the last guy and he came in number one. That's ridiculous right there. Um Wiesman is saying that He's talking about jurisdictions. So who was that was just talking about? All right, so Lewis was talking about this being to Santa Fe thing, and it seems like Wisman has a better idea of what you're talking about, and he said it's like a jurisdictional type of thing that you're talking about. So Wisman, if you can give a little bit more in depth of what that is all about and how that works. Um, let's see what we got. Ethan said BN and Santa Fe are the same railroad. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I've always known as BNSF. Now, outside of where my division, maybe it could be different depending on union agreements. They could be their own separate entities. I have no idea. I always thought they were merged, but maybe in some locations they're not. I don't know how that works. So I can't really comment on any of that. Lewis said exactly. That's what I thought, but West Side is something like that. Just trying to understand. Okay, so Lewis is basically still trying to figure out this whole jurisdiction thing, which is even new to me because I have not heard of that either. Okay, you guys, we are at the hour mark. We did it again. We did the hour live stream. I don't know how the heck we do it every time, but an hour is a long time, you guys. I don't understand how we can talk for a straight hour about this stuff, but we do it every time. So yeah, you guys, we're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up. I'll do another question. Looks like Bradley. He's saying, I'm waiting for a call back to come in for a physical test. I watch your video on what they test, but how much weight is it? Thanks for all of the great info. Scott D said, awesome live stream. Enjoy the whole thing. Thanks, Scott, man. You're always there to watch it. You're always here. Appreciate that. As a moderator, you're always here to help me moderate the comments. So appreciate all the mods and everything. But to get back to Bradley, he's asking about the test, the physical test, the machine that you do when you're doing the physical. The way I was to understand that machine, there are like no actual weights on it. There's some kind of resistance on that machine that matches the force that you put on it, or something like that. It's kind of a weird thing. But all I know is they tell you to break the machine, to go hard on it. They want you to go as hard as possible. And when you're going as hard as you can, that resistance is kind of you're giving it back to yourself based on what you're putting in. And that's the way I was told, because I asked the same question, how much weight is it? And I was told it wasn't like any weight, it was more of a resistance. So sorry, I couldn't answer that any better than that. But all I can tell you, the best advice I can tell you is to try your best to just go hard. Just go hard on that machine, and just give it your all is the best advice I can give you on that. Real said, appreciate all the answers. Thanks again. Oh, cool. Appreciate it. Westside said, we picked from a bucket of numbers. The first round, that number was the number you go in order. Second set of numbers we picked were seniority numbers. Okay, that's kind of how we did ours too. And Wiesman said, during my training, you are either hired by BN or Santa Fe, depends on the contract. It has to do with your seniority. If you were hired with BN, it's kind of tough to get into the Santa Fe contracts. Huh. Well, during my training, you were okay. So Wisman, when was your training? Are you talking years and years ago? Are you talking? Is this modern day you're talking? Because this is all new to me. I didn't know that you can be hired by BN or Santa Fe. So this is definitely maybe a division type thing or something totally different than what I've ever heard. Or maybe this is something that happened back in your day. Could we be talking 10 years ago, 20 years ago when you were hired? Or is this something that is going on today? Because I have never heard of it. Ethan said, "Hey, dog, I appreciate you answering all my questions. Have a good evening, bro." Thanks, Ethan, for coming. If you guys like this video, by the way, make sure you guys hit that like button below. And for all you guys watching who are not subscribed, we're at 500 subscribers, you guys. We made it to 500. So let's keep subscribing. Let's keep growing the community. So if you guys are watching and you guys are not subscribers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become part of the community. And I would appreciate that if we just can keep growing. Um, Let me see if I can wrap up the last few questions here. Westside said, "Go hard on the machine." LOL. Yep, that's right. You got to do that. You got to go hard on that machine. He said you can transfer anywhere in the system, just not the closed divisions. Yeah. Uh, Bradley said, "Thank you. Keep up the good videos for sure. We'll do that. That is definitely something I will keep trying to do." Westside said, "BN starts out hired at 80%, Santa Fe hired at 75%." Huh. Okay. So yeah, no, yeah, 85, 80% is basically what where I'm at when I was hired was 80%. And Santa Fe's at 75. That's so strange to me that this is the first time I'm hearing about this whole Santa Fe thing. And Wiesman said he explained it kind of all messed up, basically, is what he's saying. Cool. Wiesman, when we do our next live stream, just try to give us a better idea of how this works. We can talk about this again. You guys, it's been an hour. And I appreciate you guys for showing up. We did it. We got to 500. We are growing, you guys. I started with just a little channel and a couple followers, and now we are growing. We're 500. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep doing the live streams. Keep showing up. Keep watching the videos, and keep up with the likes and keep subscribing. And we are going to be all good. Okay. Well, thank you, West Side, for all your comments, and thanks to all you guys for showing up. Lewis, Scott D, Ethan, uh, Wisman, Reels, and all you guys who showed up. Appreciate that. And guess what, you guys? Till the next time, I will see you on the rails.